Hi, in this week's video, I'm going to give you an in-depth review of the Peloton app. I'll show you how good the workouts are, I'll show you some things you probably didn't know, as well as giving you some great tips. I'm going to cover all the sections of the app, so if there's bits that you're not interested in, then this video is set into chapters. You can see the chapters in the description, or there's a line that runs across the bottom here. Let's get cracking. So let's start with the equipment that you're going to need. You're going to need a smartphone or a tablet of some kind, anything where you can download the app to and display the workouts. I use a Fire TV stick for a larger screen. In this case, I'm using an Apple TV to display the workouts here. For the strength workouts, a good set of dumbbells. For the yoga, you're just going to need a mat. Meditation, probably nothing, just you. So depending on the types of workout you do will depend on what you're going to get in. If you've got a home treadmill, then you can do the runs, and if you've got a bike, you can do the cycling workouts. Next is the price. So this is probably one of the best things about the Peloton app. You normally get a free month anyway when you sign up, and then beyond there, it's $12.99 a month. So when I show you the workouts and exactly how much is on here, you'll see what good value that is. So if you're working out 13 times a month, that's just $1, euro or pound a workout, isn't it? The app used to be £20 a month, but then they just dropped it by a third to $12.99. And I thought it was good value at 20, but it's really good value at $12.99. So for the Peloton running and walking workouts, you 100% do not need to have a Peloton Tread or Tread Plus. Ignore that. So in this case, I'm using an Apple TV. So I'm not screencasting from my phone to my television because I film on my phone, but I have got the Peloton app on the Apple TV and also on the Fire Stick. And if I open this up, I can just go straight down to running. And here's all the running workouts. You've got a choice of 2 live classes coming up, or I might just want to select a workout and then just take that one. As I've mentioned, just to really get the energy levels up, if you can get your workouts on the biggest screen you can, I think you'll really appreciate it. With the Apple TV, it's very quick and very fast loading for the workouts. With the Amazon Fire Stick, it's a little bit slower, but when you're in the workout, the experience is exactly the same. So previously, I said this about running. I don't run. If you see me running, you better run, because there's a problem somewhere and I'm trying to escape the problem. And the reason for this is I just don't particularly enjoy, well, I didn't think I particularly enjoyed running. However, the coaching on here, and especially with this guy, Matty, if you do his beginner classes, Matty's coaching on posture, positioning, and the way he teaches, and the whole Peloton kind of ethos around teaching running has meant that I've gone from absolutely hating running to really, really enjoying it. So just like everything else on Peloton, if you want to filter, you can go up, you can filter the runs. So if I pick a 20-minute class and I just come down to difficulty, beginner, and then I can sort these runs by the easiest run. And here they are. So what I hope you can see is that this is the easiest run. I've filtered these by easiest, and you can see a tick there. So the very easiest Peloton run is graded as a 5.5 out of 10 difficulty, and it took me 2 goes to be able to complete this as per the instructions from the coach, Matty in this case. Now, we're nearly 30 runs later, and if I go up here and I filter and start by the hardest, so we're now at the hardest beginner run. So this is the very hardest beginner run, and that's graded at 7.3. But as you can see, hopefully not too far down, there's a tick. So I've gone from not being able to complete the very easiest Peloton run, which was a 5.5, I think, and then we're up to a 6.8. So that may not seem like a huge jump if you're really fit, but or you've got great lungs. However, in less than 26 runs, I've gone from the bottom to nearly the top. of the category of beginner runs. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick warm up, a run, and then a cool down, and I'll see you afterwards. Now, although I'm going to be running on a Peloton tread, that's because it's the only tread I've got, the workout will be on the TV. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to ignore all of this. I'm going to press more, and there's two options here, scenic run or just run. I'm going to select just run, and that keeps this screen black. And what you get is your incline, your speed, your pace, and your output, which is very much like a normal running machine. So you would either have a tablet on your running machine, or you would put your running machine in front of a TV, which I think is a really good setup. A standard running machine with a huge TV in front of it. I'm not moving either of these things. So I'll be running here, but the workout will be on here. This is not how you'll do it, but it's just to show you how you can do it. If you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you're not a subscriber, this channel is about laid back home fitness, as you've probably gathered already. So please consider subscribing. So next on the list is yoga. Now, I don't know if you're like me. I mean, there's probably lots of other things I'd like to be doing than yoga. However, I do really value the benefits of yoga. So you know, like when you give an old person a phone and then they do that. And I always thought, why don't you just start there with the phone? Why'd you do that? But then, if I drop something, whereas I used to just pick it up, my brain still says, this looks like an easy task, we've done it before, but my body's very much like, are you mad? And then we miss it the first two times, my body and my brain then work together and we get it on much slower on try 3. So, as much as cardiovascular health is important and strength is important, the strength that yoga gives you, as well as what really helps me, is the flexibility it's as important as the rest, I would say. So I take that back. That was actually very good. Happy baby is quite a liberating pose, but Shavasana I think is my favourite. And I feel like an owl. And as with all the other workouts, you've got the options of live classes, or the variety here seems endless. So I did a 20-minute yoga workout. You can pick your class type. You've even got family yoga here, yoga anywhere, and yoga basics if you're really new. And then there's just stacks of them. They range from beginner, intermediate, and advanced. You've got a wide range of instructors. And there are benefits with yoga, big benefits. Check this out. So, look at that, that's massive, that screen, isn't it, on the bike? So I've only got a Peloton bike, which is excellent, by the way. But I'm going to be using, like I did with the tread, I've put my bike in front of the television and I'll be doing the workout on the TV, and I'll just have the black stats screen up on the bike. One thing I think a lot of people don't realise with the Peloton app is you can still do all the cycling workouts just on any home fitness bike. What you will need is to be able to measure the cadence, because while you're riding, they will call out a cadence. So they might say cadence 60, as in 60 RPM, 60 revolutions a minute. So ideally, you need a bike that can measure cadence. If your bike doesn't measure cadence, that's absolutely fine. I recommend something like the Wahoo cadence sensor. This is inexpensive from Amazon, and then that attaches to your pedal and it measures the cadence for you, and it shows you how fast you're going, what your cadence is on your phone. The other thing the instructors will call out is a resistance level. So they might say resistance 40. And it's very difficult to relate that. That's the difficult part, to relate to the bike you're on. The reason being is you don't know what 40 means. So it might be 4 out of 10 if you've got 10 on your resistance, but what if your bike has got 20? What do you put it on? So I've got a formula that might help you, and this is a formula that relates to me when I'm doing workouts on the app via the bike, which obviously isn't very often because I've got a Peloton bike. But I generally add 20 to what they call out. So if they call a resistance of 40, I add 20, making it 60, giving me 60% of my max effort. So the hardest I will cycle, the hardest resistance I'll have on this bike, the Peloton bike, is say 70 to 75. If I add 20 to that, that's my max output of 90 to 95, and that feels about right for me. So I think that's a good kind of starting point for you. You might like to adjust it as time goes on. That's just a simple formula that I've kind of worked out in my head, but that's the best formula I can give you. If you've got any better ideas, then just put them in the comments. The other thing I'd say is if you haven't got an exercise bike and you want to buy an exercise bike to use with the Peloton app workouts, it's quite difficult to pick the right one, I think, anyway. So I did stacks of research, and my first 50 Peloton rides were on the app, and they were with the JLL IC300 Pro. So the naming of JLL's bikes is odd. Some bikes sound better, but the specs are less. So they might have like a JLL IC300 Max Elite or something, but it's actually worse. So have a look at the specs of the JLL IC300 Pro on their website. And I think that's a really, really good setup for Peloton workouts. Now, I'm not suggesting you buy that bike, but it'll give you an idea of why I chose it. It was to do with the flywheel, the weight of the flywheel. It's also really quiet. It's almost as quiet as a Peloton bike because it's belt driven and not chain driven. I won't go on. At the end of this video, I'll link you to my Peloton playlist where you can see my comparison of that bike to this bike, and hopefully it gives you enough information to then go and choose a bike that works for you. You won't be surprised to know that this is where Peloton really shines with the cycling workouts. If everything else on the app is excellent, this is excellent plus 10. So if, for instance, I've got 30 minutes to spare, I'm not too concerned about the class, but I want to ride with Cody. Now I can recommend Cody because he's just hilarious. And I just want to listen to pop music. So that's quite a lot of filtering, and there's just a load of classes. You've got lots to choose from that cover pop music. Short on time, I might only have say 20 minutes. Now the rides do go from 5 minutes all the way up to 90 minutes. If I want to do a climb ride, so I really want to get my heart going and get my legs pumping. Again, I mean, there's just so many different rides. I can just keep scrolling down. So I'm going to do a 20-minute class today. I'm not too bothered about the music at the moment, so see what's there. I'm going to sort by the newest class. I like Dennis. Dennis is a pretty cool guy. I'm going to go with Jess EDM. See, that looks like an interesting ride. What have we got? Oh, but then I'm feeling hip hop. But then I'm feeling metal. See, this is where it gets difficult. I'm going to go for this metal ride. Ah, look at that. So that has got a 9 out of 10 difficulty. So I'm not feeling that one today. Let's check this hip hop one. 7.8. That's good. So I've just stopped before the end of the ride because I wanted to show you this. So according to the app, I've burnt 86 calories. But according to the bike, which has probably got a much better idea of what I'm really doing, you can see that I've burnt 136 calories. So there is a marked difference between what the app says and the bike says. Bearing in mind, that seems to be going up on its own, I'm not working out, but this has stopped because I've stopped working out. And this is what I talked about before. So I start pedaling, let's keep going. I've got a cadence of 50, 63 there, and a resistance of 49, which I'd say is around about 70% of my max effort. So I didn't go really hard today. I can still speak, but there's not a lot more to say about the Cycle Intuition than it's probably the best out there. I'm yet to do a review on Apple Fitness cycling, but I mean, I can't think of how anything can be better than this. When the weather's nice, it's good to get outside, isn't it? With the app on the phone or a tablet, you've got the outdoor audio workouts as well. And they're either running, walking, or running and walking. You haven't got those on the Apple TV, but they're a really good way just to get a little bit more exercise, a brisk walk, or if you're an outdoor runner and you're not very confident, like the tread, the coaching here is just excellent. Now, over 50% of the people who watch my videos are actually in the States, which is wonderful. I'm in the UK here. Let me show you this. Down there's Diagon Alley. We can't go up that street because they're just filming a new James Bond film, honestly. Next, I want to talk to you about the strength workouts. Now, I've got a whole video in the Peloton App playlist about strength workouts because it's my favorite part of, well, I mean, it's joint favorite with the bike and the tread of Peloton. So, as always, there's lots of filtering. I'm going to show you the types of classes. So you've got warm up, you've got body weight, full body, upper body, specifically core workouts. You've got arms with light weights, strength for runners. Now there's resistance band workouts in here as well. So if you haven't got any weights or room for weights, you could use resistance bands, or you've got full body weight. There's also bar and Pilates in here. Now, I was going to do a bar class, but it looks quite difficult. So I'm not going to do one, but you've got bar. I don't quite understand why Pilates isn't in the yoga bit, but I'm sure if you're a yogi, you will be telling me that they're two very different things. I think Pilates was designed for rehabilitation, whereas yoga is designed for like more meditation. Please don't quote me on that. And then the head instructor for Peloton, Robin Arzone, has recently had a baby. So there's lots of prenatal content from her. And I think what will happen shortly is there'll be lots of postnatal content from her. Now, when you do the strength workouts, the coaching is very good, and they do have adaptations for if you can't quite do, if you need a lower level of kind of exercise or a higher level, there is adaptations in there. There's only one instructor though, unlike Apple Fitness where you've got three, so you've got modifiers for making things easier and harder. What I will say about this is my post-40 injuries. So since turning 40, I've constantly got niggles. So inner elbow, outer elbow tennis, or I don't know which is tennis, which is golfers. Wrist strains, shoulder strains, they've all gone. So since I've been using this, what they've taught me, which, you know, I've been working out since I was lifting weights since I was 8, that all the niggles have gone. So I am over the moon by the fact that I am kind of like little injury free for weight training since I've been following the coaching on here. Next is meditation. Now I won't show you me doing this, it'll just be me sitting still for 10 minutes, so it's a little bit pointless. But the meditation stuff is really handy. So I use it in a couple of ways. I'll show you the class types here. So I either use it to go to sleep with. So if I go to bed and I'm a little bit wired, I'll just put on a 20 or 30 minute sleep meditation and I just drift off. If I'm trying to get a personal best, I might do a fitness focused meditation. So if I want to get a PB, I might do a 10-minute fitness goals meditation, and then I'm all kind of, well, you're never pumped after a meditation, but I'm in the right frame of mind to get things done. My favorite is well, you've also got meditation basics, anywhere, Zen in 10, and you've got audio only. So Audio only would be if you've perhaps got your phone in your pocket or it's night time. I listen to the normal ones. I just leave my phone face down. The emotion ones is really good. So sometimes I feel a little bit not imbalanced or unbalanced, but you know, like there's two sides. So one of my favourite books is The Chimp Paradox, and I've read the first 100 pages several times. Beyond 100 pages, it gets a little bit complicated. But the premise of the book is that your emotions are like a chimp. So a chimpanzee is 5 times faster and 5 times stronger than a human. An example being when you're driving along the road and someone cuts you up, there's two things going on. Your logic is saying, I don't know that person, they don't know me, they're not a very good driver, just carry on with my life. But emotionally is when you start swearing at them and ranting at them and sitting that close to their back bumper, and that's your emotions. And if you see somebody doing that who's just been cut up, you're very much like, oh, what an unreasonable person. But then the day before you might have been doing it. So these are really good for just emotional rebalancing. I want to quickly touch on these two. So Tread Bootcamp and Bike Bootcamp are workouts where you would spend half your time on a bike or a tread and then half the time off the tread, either doing bodyweight exercises or traditional weight training. And it's meant to have kind of a boot camp feel. I don't really do them. I prefer to do a good 20-minute weight session followed by a 20-minute run or a cycle. But if you want to mix them up, then these two are the way to do it. Another way to really get your heart pumping with Peloton is the cardio workouts. Now you can see here, I've not put any filters on. A lot of it is very HIIT based. So I don't mind HIIT, but it's a really good way to kind of push your limits and improve your fitness. I just don't find it particularly enjoyable. But there is a lot of HIIT. The vast majority of it are HIIT workouts. There are other things on here though. If I filter and go down to class type, in addition to HIIT and music HIIT, you've also got family workouts, which we enjoyed during lockdown. This lady here, Jess Sims, prior to being a Peloton instructor, she was actually a teacher. I'm not sure, I feel like I want to watch that one. Why have they got dogs? I don't really understand it. But these are good fun workouts, especially if you've got younger children. And then you've also got dance as well. My daughter really enjoys these, though she won't admit it now because she's 14. But the dance cardio workouts are really good as well. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you're still here, I'll leave you with these two. This just reminds me so much, this start bit here, just two drunk mums at a wedding, few vinos, off they go.